Everywhere you look, these Democrats are committing fraud and getting caught for it. Ilhan Omar married her own brother to help him stay in the U.S. According to this article put out just a couple hours ago, a new wave of allegations have emerged against Rep. Ilhan Omar, Democrat out of Minnesota, following a statement from a Somali community leader who states that Omar married her own brother to facilitate his immigration into the United States. According to the source, Omar admitted that she would do whatever she had to do to help her brother obtain legal status in the country, even if that means committing immigration fraud. The claims have reignited an ongoing controversy surrounding Omar's marriage history, which first surfaced in 2016. Omar, one of the first Muslim women elected Congress and a member of the Progressive Squad. More like radical leftist squad that chants burn down America, but anyways, the Somali community leader who has chosen to remain anonymous reportedly told the Daily Mail that Omar had privately acknowledged her actions, saying it was necessary to ensure her brother's ability to remain in the U.S. The leader claims Omar married Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi, who they allege is her brother, in 2009 for the purpose of immigration fraud, and divorced him in 2017 after their marriage was no longer needed. If you calculate everything that has come out about the Democratic Party in the past few days alone, I think it's safe to say that in the next few months, there's not going to be a Democratic Party left.
Okay, here's some dirt, y'all. It gets even better. Ilhan Omar. Okay, now Ilhan Omar. Okay, she was married to this one Somali guy. It didn't last that long. This chick's been like, she's had 4 husbands. 4, okay? And she smokes cigarettes. Miss Muslim smokes cigarettes. Anyway. Okay, her brother was living in England and he was hanging out with a bad crowd, right? The LGBTQIA crowd. And so his family shipped him to America to kind of straighten him out and to help him get here and to help him, to help him get here. She married him. They have the proof. They have the genetic proof. They went around the world and they got genetic proof to prove that he and her are brother and sister. Now let's see if they actually put her trifling behind out of here.
So they want to deport a sitting congresswoman based on WhatsApp rumors and family tree conspiracy theories. For years, Ilhan Omar, black Muslim refugee progressive, has been accused of marrying her brother for citizenship, the same playbook used against every immigrant who dares to have power. Now, the government says that they are investigating DNA tests, marriage certificates, the works, and if you're from the diaspora watching this, you already know the script. This is not about Omar. This is about whether any of us are allowed to belong in the United States of America even when we win. But here's where they're not telling you about how this evidence actually works, who benefits from this spectacle, and why your auntie's naturalization papers might be next. Stay with me because this one is about all of us. Watch these clips to the very end and then I will be back to discuss everything with you, my people.
What's that? That's the marriage certificate for Omar to her brother. Who posted it? The White House. Yeah, she's probably not going to be here for a long time. If she's allowed to stay after the White House posted that, there's a bigger problem here in this country. They posted all the details of when he arrived, when they got married, everything. On top of all the fraud that she's allegedly involved in, it looks like they're a lot deeper into that investigation than they're letting us see. But her time is coming, and I'm here for it because we've been having this conversation so long, probably a good close to a decade, if not more. Are you going to appreciate and celebrate if she gets deported? Yeah, me too. Exactly.
What's good, family? Welcome back to the Bantu Merchant, where we talk about the things that affect us, the diaspora, the displaced, the ones building empires, On Broken Bones, today we need to talk about Ilhan Omar. Now, before half of you click off because you think this is about defending a politician, I want you to stop. This is not about Omar's policies. This is not about whether you agree with her vote on this or that bill. This is about something much deeper, older, and much more dangerous. I'm talking about the price of black and brown success in the West. So here's what's happening. For the better part of a decade, that Representative Ilhan Omar has been accused of marrying her biological brother, Ahmed Nur Said Elmi, back in 2009 to help him get US citizenship. Immigration fraud, marriage fraud, even incest, because why not throw everything at the wall and see this and see what sticks? The allegations started bubbling in right-wing blogs, got amplified by Trump during his presidency, and now they are saying DHS is officially investigating. DNA tests showing 99.99% certainty. Marriage certificates posted by the White House. Fraud investigators saying there is no doubt. And Omar, she is not backing down. When reporters asked if she's packing her bags for Somalia, she said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'll probably be here longer than Trump." He's an old man losing his mind. Cold-blooded, I respect it. But here's the thing. My family wants you to understand something. Whether Omar did this or not is almost beside the point right now, because what's happening here is a blueprint, a playbook, and it's been run on immigrant communities since the dawn of time. Let me tell you what this really is. When they can't beat you on policy, they attack your legitimacy. Your right to be in the room. Think about it. Obama birth certificate conspiracies for 8 years. Kamala Harris, she's not really black. She's not African American. Now, Ilhan Omar, she's committed fraud to even get here. You see the pattern, guys. The message is very clear. You don't really belong. Your citizenship is conditional. Your success is suspicious. And for those of us from the diaspora, African, Caribbean, Kenyan, Somali, Jamaican, Haitian, we know this feeling intimately. Every passport check feels like an interrogation. Every visa interview feels like a trial. Every achievement comes with an invisible asterisk. But now, how did you really get here? Our families didn't survive civil wars, coups, poverty, and oceans just to have our children's success questioned by people whose ancestors colonized half the planet. Now, let us talk about this so-called evidence, because this is where it gets interesting. DNA test showing 99.99% certainty they are siblings. Okay, who ordered the test? Where's the chain of custody? How did anyone get biological samples from both parties without consent? Because the last I checked, you can't just do a DNA test as sitting member of Congress without their knowledge. That's not how the law works. That's not how science works. Marriage certificates posted by the White House. Which White House? Trump's. The same administration that tried to ban people from 7 Muslim majority countries. The same folks who called African nations shithole countries. That White House is your credible source. I'm not saying it's impossible that fraud happened. Immigration fraud exists. Marriage fraud exists. We all know someone who did a paper marriage back in the day. That's not the question. The question is, why is the full weight of federal investigation falling on this one black Muslim woman when we have literal billionaires committing tax fraud, corporations exploiting migration loopholes, and politicians whose grandparents came through Ellis Island with fake names and nobody blinks? Let me make this personal for a second. My own family's immigration story is complicated. I won't pull all their business out here, but I will say this. When you're fleeing war, when your country is on fire, when your options are find a way to the West or die, you do what you have to do. Sometimes that means paying someone to put your name on documents. Sometimes that means marrying someone you're not in love with. Sometimes it means telling stories to immigration officers that ain't 100% accurate, because the 100% accurate story involves trauma that no USCIS form has a box for. Is it illegal? No. Is it moral? That depends on whether you think survival is moral, or is it understandable? Absolutely. The West destabilizes our countries through colonization, structural adjustment programs, arms deals, and proxy wars, and then act shocked when we show up at the border asking for safety. And then when we make it, when we succeed, when we get elected to Congress, they want to audit our papers like we are criminals. That cognitive dissonance is just staggering. So there is something that terrifies me. If they successfully denaturalize Omar, if they strip her citizenship and deport her based on alleged fraud from before she was naturalized, they set a precedent. They're saying we can go back, we can review, we can undo your citizenship anytime. We can find something irregular in your paperwork and do what we can do. And family, do you know how many of our parents, our aunties, our uncles have something irregular in their paperwork? Not because they are criminals, but because the immigration system is deliberately Byzantine, contradictory, and designed to make it nearly impossible to do it the right way. You get it? If Omar goes down, what's stopping them from going after the Somali community in the Minnesota, the Nigerian community in Houston, the Asian community in Miami? Nothing can stop them from doing that. And this is how mass denaturalization starts. One high-profile case, one precedent, and then the flood gets opened. But here's what gives me hope. Omar herself said, "I'm not going anywhere." And when you like her politics or not, that statement is powerful because it's not just about her. It's about every immigrant, every refugee, every person who was told they didn't belong and built a life anyway. She's not apologizing. She's not cowering. She's not ready to play the game of respectability politics where you have to be the perfect immigrant to deserve dignity every time shit comes up. She's standing in her truth, and I'm here, I was elected, and I have every right to be in this Congress, quote unquote. That kind of defiance is what the diaspora needs more of. Not just in politics, but in business, in culture, in every room where they try to make us feel like guests in countries we helped to build. So here's my challenge to you, my family. Watch this case closely, not because Omar is a hero, heroine, or a villain, but because it is a test case for all of us. If they can do this to a sitting congresswoman, they can do it to anyone else out there. Your mother, your father, you, your auntie, your family, anyone. And if you're someone who thinks, well, I did everything legally, so I'm here, I'm safe, I want to remind you something. The law is a tool, and in the wrong hands, it can be used to hurt the very people it's supposed to protect. Support due process, demand transparency, push back against xenophobia masquerading as law and order. And because, you know what, today it's Ilhan Omar, tomorrow it could be your family. And guys, if this video makes you think, kindly hit that like button. If it made your confidence good, share it anyway, and subscribe to the Bantu Merchant channel for more real talk about migration, money, and making it in the diaspora. Drop a comment. Do you think Omar's case sets a dangerous precedent, or do you think accountability is accountability regardless of who it touches? I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed, and never let anyone tell you that you don't belong. Peace.
Congresswoman, do you agree with President Trump's assumption that you married your brother to get citizenship? Have you begun packing your bags for Somalia yet, Congresswoman Omar?
Not going anywhere.
So you're not?
No, don't waste your energy on me.
Do you have a message for President Trump?
I will be here probably longer than Trump.
Wait, do you have a message for
Since
President
I
Trump?
am like a quarter of his age.
Do you have anything else you'd like to say to
He's an
him?
old man losing his mind. I don't know why he's obsessed with me.
Interesting. Well, thank you, Congresswoman.
Yeah, I hope he gets help.
Thank you.
Why is she still here? Why? Can't we just come together and go pick her up and get her out? All right, sign me up. So I'll start going and grabbing these people. Why is she here? She hates it here so much. She hates everything about it, and she hates Trump, and she hates all the people here. Why is she still here? Why isn't she leaving on her own? You hate it so much. It's so awful. Just leave. Go. You don't need to be here anymore. You hate it that much, so go.
The Trump administration has confirmed that Representative Ilhan Omar did indeed marry her brother. There is DNA test that was conducted, and 99.99999% came back to show that they were siblings. Ilhan married her brother in 2007 under a Christian ceremony, but these are Muslims. These two Muslims married under Christian ceremony and had the paperwork for that. While married to her brother, she had a child with her original husband. They were still together. Their marriage was conducted through a Muslim ceremonies. So Ilhan and her first husband, their marriage is done through Muslim ceremony or Islam or whatever you call it. With her brother, they did a Christian ceremony. She became a U.S. citizen in July of 2020. So the fraud happened prior to her becoming a citizen. According to Tom Homan, there is an official investigation into this. Since there are proof, the marriage certificate from Minnesota showing that she actually did marry her brother. This happens prior to her naturalization. What do you do? I want you to tell me, what is your opinion? Should she become naturalized and deported? This is a crime that she committed. And for a long time, people have been talking about this situation. She has not denied it. She's just ignored the questions. But according to media reports, people who know her family, they've all come and said, yes, she did marry her brother. Comment and tell me what you guys think. I'm so interested. I think I have a certain view what we should do, but I want to hear from you. Let me know.
Could it finally be happening? Could it finally be that Representative Ilhan Omar is going to face scrutiny for allegedly marrying her brother to gain citizenship status? This is one of the worst kept secrets in Minnesota politics. There is plenty of documentation out there leading to credible evidence that Representative Ilhan Omar married her brother in order to gain citizenship here into the United States. Tom Homan said that an investigation is underway, and just today the White House posted what they said was evidence that Ilhan Omar may have committed immigration fraud. Now again, we've known about this for years here in Minnesota, just like the fraud certainly hasn't grabbed the nation's attention like the past few weeks have regarding fraud here in Minnesota. However, if this investigation moves forward and that evidence turns into actual accountability for Ilhan Omar for potentially committing immigration fraud, the ramifications of this are absolutely seismic. Not just here in Minnesota, of which it would be, but nationwide as well. A recent report came out about a month ago. And in that report, which was coupled with the fraud investigations taking place, it was discovered that apparently some 50% of individuals who have immigrated here from Somalia did so through marriage fraud. That's why the ICE and Customs Enforcement investigations here, beyond the criminal aspect of those here illegally, is so important, because it could move into a phase where individuals who have committed fraud in order to obtain citizenship status through their marriage could also be held accountable. So the point is that this type of immigration fraud is pretty pronounced. Even if it's a quarter of individuals, not half, who have immigrated to Minnesota from Somalia that have committed marriage fraud, that's huge. So it's not really a very big surprise that when Ilhan Omar came here to America, she would go and commit immigration fraud by marrying her brother to gain legal status. Talk about the best Christmas gift ever. Actual accountability for Ilhan Omar if they're able to definitively hold her accountable. Grab your popcorn or your favorite snack. It's going to be a wild ride heading into the new year.
We really need to stop allowing foreigners become politicians in this country. I don't see how that is a thing. Ilhan Omar is being accused of marrying her brother to gain him citizenship. This is a Congresswoman in the United States being accused of committing marriage fraud and incest, both two laws that are illegal in the United States. This was brought up a few years ago, and it's being brought up again because new information, I don't know if it's new, but information has surfaced that the FBI is covering up the DNA test between her and her brother. And it's funny how when the whole situation surfaced, the DNA test still has not come out. If you wanted to prove that you and your husband were not blood relatives, would you not want to release the DNA test so people can stop accusing you of this? Yeah, but instead, recently I just found out that she's about to get divorced to him. I wonder why. Because why stay married to your brother? He's already a legal citizen now. I just don't understand how people like this get voted into politics. Like, this Congresswoman has literally been on stage saying how much she respects Somalia and wants to go back to her country. She puts her country first before she puts the United States first. It's almost like she forgets what position she's in. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I personally feel that if you want to run for politics in the United States, you have to be born in the United States. Because even I found out last year that Barack Obama wasn't even born in the United States. How was he allowed to be president? Oh, by the way, y'all see the way this sun is just, oh, hello. All right.